Well, big breaking news that is coming in right here on Times Now. Our channel has managed to access the letter which has been written by Prime Minister Modi to newly sworn in Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan, making a peace overture. Let's go across to our National Affairs editor who joins us, Srinjoy Chaudhary. Srinjoy, if you can get us excerpts from the letter.
Yes, it has spoken about constructive engagement, and it has also mentioned terrorism and violence. The point mentioned here is what we are hearing from Indian government sources is that yes, this letter has been written. It has been written to Imran Khan in a way a prime minister of a country writes to another prime minister after he has taken over. It's a normal congratulatory letter. Naturally, it says that this area, the people of the subcontinent should benefit from a region that is free of terrorism and violence. It has said that yes, there should be constructive engagement. So these are points that have been written in the letter. Positive constructive engagement has been talked about, but positive constructive engagement should not be seen as stretching out for talks. Yes, you write to a prime minister saying we should have positive constructive engagement. Absolutely right. He has also written that this is an area that should be free of violence and terrorism. Absolutely right. But the final point really here is that it's not a call saying let's sit down and have talks.
Absolutely.
That is certainly not the case.
Just for a clarification there, Srinjoy, so you are saying that essentially it does talk about positive, constructive engagement, but nothing specific on the step that needs to be taken next?
Yes, and not only that, Meghna,
right.
The point is that this is a kind of letter, this is what we are hearing,
right.
That this kind of letter is normally written.
Right.
It's a generally written from one prime minister to another prime minister, particularly in a neighboring country, saying, you know, let's build a good atmosphere and so on.
So it's a congratulatory letter per se, not an outward reach out to Pakistan for peace talks or dialogue.
Yeah, it's not an invitation for talks.
Yes, it's not an invitation for talks.
It's not an
invitation for talks. Srinjoy has made that very important distinction here. Srinjoy is making a very important distinction here. For that, let me go across to Maruf Raza as well, who's joining us, a consulting editor. Maruf, you agree with Srinjoy that we should take it as a congratulatory letter, of course, which is going out to a newly elected Prime Minister. However, we should fall shy of really calling it a peace overture per se.
You see, ever since Imran Khan has elected, there has been a mood amongst the soft peddlers and the peacenicks in India that this is finally the moment now that India and Pakistan can live happily ever after. I disagree with them, and therefore I agree with what Srinjoy has said for 2-3 reasons. One is, you can understand from what Imran Khan's statements have indicated and from what Prime Minister Modi has said, that their positions are clearly defined. Imran Khan is saying everything hinges on talking about Kashmir as a way forward. Our Prime Minister has indicated that you have to do away with terror. That has been traditionally his stand for the last several years. So the fact of the matter is that while Pakistan cannot and will not abandon its terror machinery in a hurry, we cannot be seen to be rolling backwards our very clearly stated position that do away with terror and do away with your entire proxy war mechanism, and then we can look for a way forward. And the second and most important thing is that as far as India-Pakistan relationship is concerned, this is the turf of the Pakistan army. It is not the turf of the Prime Minister of Pakistan. So for heaven's sake, don't read too much into statements by civilian leaders in Pakistan, whether it's Imran Khan or Mr. Qureshi. Both of them will not be allowed room for maneuver. If they do, they will meet Nawaz Sharif's fate, who tried to look the military in the eye and wanted to move forward with India. Pakistan's Prime Ministers are not given the freedom to take a stand on India and Kashmir.
But Maruf, some would say that we perhaps should be more hopeful about an outreach. In the past as well, we have seen Prime Minister Modi making such overtures, some of them unexpected overtures towards Pakistan. With a new dispensation in place, should we look at it perhaps a bit more positively?
I do not share the optimism of those who say we need to look at it positively. In fact, I am cynical to the point of being excessively cautious, because experience has shown with Pakistan, and I'm not talking of the last even 7 years, I'm talking of the last 70 years, there has been no instance in our history where the agreements between the leaders of India and Pakistan have had the stamp of approval of the Pakistan army. You can see Mr. Vajpayee's visit to Lahore. You can see Prime Minister Modi's visit to Nawaz Sharif's family wedding. You can see efforts made by even Mrs. Gandhi to accommodate Bhutto, despite the Shimla Accord and despite his promises with no written commitment. She freed all the prisoners of war. What have we got since then? If Pakistan abandons its hostility to India, Pakistan will be left rudderless, because it has no other reason to bind itself together except anti-Indianism. Unless the leadership in Pakistan can give them a new figure and a new feature to feel, comprehensively glued together as a people, they will continue to look at India in adversarial ways. And this is going to take more than a generation or more of effort to take things to turn around, whatever the good intentions of Mr. Modi or Mr. Imran Khan.
In fact, that is the point. Let me bring in Srinjoy as well. And Srinjoy, you were making the same point as Maruf, is that perhaps India is going to be once bitten, twice shy. Because every time there have been overtures being made by India, we have ended up by being backstabbed.
Yes, I'll tell you all the exact points that Prime Minister Modi has made. And here they are. One, congratulate you on your smooth transition. It strengthens our belief in democracy. Two, the letter speaks of a shared belief to bring peace and prosperity in the subcontinent and make it free from violence and terrorism. Three, we have a commitment to build good neighborly relations. Four, pursue a meaningful and constructive engagement for the benefit of people in the region. Now, this is the fourth line, which Pakistan has given a spin. Shah Mahmood Qureshi has given a spin and said that this is an invitation of talks. Well, I'm Prime Minister and I'm writing to another Prime Minister. What will he say? That yes, we should have good relations between our countries, and there should be a constructive engagement. Right. So India's the fact that India wants peace is made very clear in the letter, but it does not say in any place that yes, this is an invitation for talks. As I had said earlier, a congratulatory letter saying that we should have good relations is not an invitation for dialogue.
Absolutely. In fact, Maruf, if I can come back to you, but before that, there is a reaction, I believe, which is coming in. Shah Mahmood Qureshi's, if I'm not mistaken. Let's listen in.
सवालात एक एक करके सवालात होंगे वन बाय वन। जनाब आपका पहला हाथ सर, आपका पहला हाथ सर, प्लीज पेशेंटली सवाल होंगे। मिनिस्टर साहब आपकी बात सुनेंगे, जवाब एक माइक मुझे ला बेटा, बारी बारी सबको मौका मिले।
शाह साहब, थैंक यू वेरी मच। आई एम हियर सर। जस्ट अ सेकंड प्लीज। मुझे अभी फॉरेन सेक्रेटरी साहिबा ने मुतल्ले किया है कि हिंदुस्तान के वजीर आजम का कल खत आया है, जिस खत में उन्होंने इमरान खान साहब को मुबारकबाद पेश की है, और उन्होंने जो मैं बात कर रहा था, उन्होंने गुफ्त शुनीद के रास्ते का आगाज का पैगाम दिया है। दैट्स अ वेरी पॉजिटिव। शाह साहब, हाँ जी, आई एम हियर सर, प्लीज। थैंक यू वेरी मच शाह साहब।
नाम और
मजहर इकबाल नाम है सर मेरा, एंड आई एम रिप्रेजेंटिंग पब्लिक टेलीविजन सर। शाह साहब, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल आई वुड लाइक टू कांग्रेचुलेट।
Well, in fact, let's go across to Maruf Raza, who's joining us. Maruf, quite interesting, the spin which has been given by Pakistan minister, saying that there are overtures of peace at a time when we have the letter, and it shows that Prime Minister Modi merely congratulated Imran Khan and spoke about positive, constructive engagement.
You see, these are words that, as Srinjoy has said, that leaders of major countries often use when they have adversarial relations with other countries. I am a man who rather insists on specifics, and there are no specifics at this stage. Pakistan is desperate to get back onto the table for talks with India, because like everything else, they seek parity with India. When India did the nuclear test, they went and did the nuclear test to seek parity with India. When India has stopped talking with them, they are left rudderless because they can't seek parity with India, because they can't now say, we cannot also talk, because the talks have been stalled because of their inability to get to terms with their terror mechanism. Now, unless, and Mr. Imran Khan has many bigger challenges in front of him.
And internationally too, not just from India.
Yeah, well, he has to get his act together in terms of the economy. His foreign policy challenges are also to get America to see Pakistan once again favorably. Mr. Trump has been dismissive about them. His greater interest of his army today lies in Afghanistan and ensuring the China-Pakistan economic corridor runs smoothly through Pakistan, which has run into a lot of problems in various parts of Pakistan because of opposition of the local population.
Right.
I mean, he has to look at the internal security situation where, other than Lashkar-e-Toiba, all terrorist groups are targeting each other within Pakistan. Pakistan is a country which has got enormous turmoil within. So talking to India, if I was there in his position, would be, way down in my order of priority. Now, Shah Mahmood Qureshi is making all these statements, but Shah Mahmood Qureshi was left stumped and rudderless when he was in India, and 26/11 attacks happened when he was in India.
Right.
It quite clearly shows that as foreign minister, he wasn't even in the loop. So, I don't give him much credibility right now. We'll have to wait and watch.
But Maruf, there's an interesting quote which is coming in from Shah Mahmood Qureshi. We're going to try and play that out for our viewers. But he has said that we are not only neighbors, we are also nuclear powers. Hence, there is no scope of adventurism dialogue. What do you make into that? A latent threat, perhaps?
That's what, Pakistan has, as I said, I hadn't heard his quote because I can't hear it here. But quite clearly, I knew that Pakistan always seeks parity with India. So here he is talking about we are both nuclear powers, and he is also trying to leverage the nuclear power angle to show a kind of an indirect threat to India and the world, that as nuclear powers we must be talking, otherwise you're going to blow each other up. But studies have shown that under no circumstances, pushed to a corner also, that Pakistan's leadership and its generals would be in a hurry to use nuclear weapons. So all this nightmare scenarios that people make out when countries are nuclear weapon powers, other than white Western countries, people assume that if you're not white and you're not Western, you're irresponsible. I don't buy that hogwash. And Mr. Qureshi can keep making these veiled suggestions and threats that as nuclear powers you must talk, because this is what the West wants to hear. And like every other Western educated anglicized leader, he is a Cambridge man.
Absolutely.
And so therefore, he is going to play to the gallery there. But the reality is that ask the people of Pakistan that do they want to talk with India? They will only want to talk with India when they...
But also, Maruf, he has had a complete turnaround when it comes, an overhaul when it comes to his personal persona, isn't it, over the years, from the anglicized, Cambridge-educated Imran Khan that we saw of those days and the one we see today. However, do stay on with us, Maruf, as well as Srinjoy. We are going to be slipping into a short break. We'll be discussing more of this on the other side.